What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Bull Combo. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're having a great day. Today we're talking about the ways Earth 2 needs to improve in order to succeed long term. So stick around while we talk about the future of E2 and get stoked because we're starting some weekly land giveaways. Alright guys, so as you can see, I recently bought this entire island in the Marshall Islands with the sole purpose of giving away all of these properties. I'm calling it Combo Island, and I basically bought it in 20 tile plot sections so that I could give these away to you guys. So every week I'm going to be doing one land giveaway. If you want to enter, the entry steps are pretty simple. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. You have to follow me on Twitter, which you can find down below in the description, or you can find a link to it on the homepage of my channel. And then you have to comment on this video and let me know what you would build on your plot when the time comes to be able to build in Earth 2. So again, those steps are subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, comment down below, let me know what you'd build. If you want to win, make sure to enter there, and best of luck to everybody. I can't wait to see who wins this every week, and I can't wait to start giving these away. If you guys want to support the channel, make sure to use the support links down below. All sorts of stuff down there, my Earth 2 referral code, my Minimal store, referral links, and my merch store. And if you're already supporting the channel, I super appreciate it, so thank you so much. Also, if you guys didn't get a chance to see, I was on Guidebook Gaming stream on Tuesday night. I was part of a content creators panel discussion. I was there with several prominent content creators inside the Earth 2 space, and we were talking about what drives us to create content, some of the challenges of creating content, and really where we see Earth 2 content going long term. So if that's something you guys are interested in, make sure to head over to Guidebook Gaming stream. I'll post the link in the description down below, and you can rewatch the video from Tuesday. It was an awesome time. I had a ton of fun hanging out with them. There was some really insightful conversation that took place. So I won't spoil it, but make sure to head over there and check out some of the things that we talked about. I think it was a lot of fun. Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about the ways that Earth 2 needs to improve. And not just needs to improve, but the things that Earth 2 needs to improve quickly if they want to be successful. Earth 2 is off to a really great start. I won't take anything away from them there. And obviously it's a really intriguing platform, or I wouldn't be interested in it. That said, it's very naive to think that they've crossed the finish line already, and they still have a lot of work to do if they want to cement themselves at the top of the leaderboard for virtual land. So probably the most important thing, and probably the thing that's top of mind for most users, is the withdrawal experience. So let's be real here, guys. The reality is the withdrawal experience is probably going to take some time to address. Right now, they're processing all the withdrawals manually. They have to confirm account ownership. They have to confirm identification. They have to make sure there's no fraudulent activity on the account in terms of the way you acquired the properties. Then they also have to make sure that there's no financial crimes being committed, money laundering, etc. So there's a long list of things they have to go through each time they process a withdrawal request. And as far as I know, there's no automated tool that exists for platforms like this that does all of those things right now. Maybe there is, and if that's the case, they're probably working to partner with them, but I do believe that is the big challenge that Earth 2 is facing. And as I mentioned previously, NBA Top Shot and some other apps are also facing when it comes to the withdrawal experience. That said, the withdrawal experience is definitely alienating people right now. It's definitely making people question the authenticity of the platform. Even if it really has no weight over the legitimacy of the platform itself, it's an experience that at the end of the day is very important because it has to do with people trying to access their money. Now, I'm not saying that the withdrawal experience has to be instant, because if you want my personal opinion, I don't think withdrawals will ever be instant, or at least not instant like a bank account withdrawal. I do think there will be a level of verification always involved there to confirm the things I mentioned previously and make sure that there's nothing suspicious, sketchy going on inside of the account, etc. That said, there are definitely ways they could improve the process and the experience, starting with the ticketing system that they mentioned. I'm not really sure why it's taking so long to implement that, but I do think that is really important to the perspective that the game's giving off right now, and really just to the user experience as a whole. Aside from the withdrawal experience, Earth 2 is doing a really good job. But because this platform revolves around real money, the withdrawal experience alone is enough to alienate people, and for that reason I think that the withdrawal experience is the thing that they need to focus all of their resources on now and prioritize fixing, possibly over anything else. Better communication outside of Discord. So anyone that's a member of the Earth 2 Discord knows the dev team is fairly communicative there and fairly transparent when it comes to things going on inside the app. And the Discord is definitely the place where most of the updates are posted. That said, I have seen instances where very elaborate updates or announcements are posted in Discord, and then the same thing is not posted on public social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, etc. Now, obviously there's a character limit to Twitter, but you can still post sheets with a full list of everything that you're saying, or a picture that lists everything out in text form, etc. So there are ways around it. That said, I really do think that they need to improve their communication level outside of Discord. Discord is a very unique space, and not a lot of people use it, if we're being honest. I didn't start using Discord until I got involved in Earth 2. It was only because I had an elevated level of interest that pushed me toward utilizing Discord. The average person might not use Discord, and for that reason, they might not have any idea what's going on in the game, or at least not as strong of an idea as those inside of Discord. And for that reason, I do think it's very important that they continue to improve their communication outside of the Discord group and make sure that there's a level of transparency on all their updates and announcements that's relayed on all of their social media platforms. That way, every user that's involved in the platform is staying informed and has the same information relayed to them. There can't be any misconstrued information. There can't be any conflict of interest. No one can say, well, I wasn't told this, but this group of people was told that. I just think overall it would be extremely beneficial for them to do that. I do see them moving toward that, and they've started to become more active and post summaries or snippets of those announcements in different spots, and sometimes they post the announcement in all of those spots. But I just think it would be very useful for them to not only create a weekly dev newsletter where they just post exactly what they're working on and even give us some really technical detail for the people that want to know that, but also communicate that on all of their platforms evenly and with the same tone. That way everyone is informed and there's no lack of communication in one area or another. So blockchain and NFT clarification. This is a really big one, guys, because NFTs and blockchain are the only way to facilitate true ownership of an item in a digital world. So unless blockchain is currently implemented and being utilized inside of Earth 2, we don't actually own these tiles. And if that's the case, that's a big problem. So we need a lot more clarification on how exactly blockchain is being utilized in Earth 2, what the long-term plans are to adopt blockchain, and how we own these properties. Right now, the dev team has been very vague about whether or not blockchain is being utilized, and I think it's extremely important that they clarify that sooner than later. Every single one of the valid competitors for Earth 2 currently utilize blockchain, whether that be Upland, Decentraland, or the Sandbox. Those applications utilize blockchain and NFT ownership, and that is extremely important to their current success and long-term success. And if Earth 2 wants to experience that same level of success and really place themselves at the top of that leaderboard, they have to utilize blockchain and NFT ownership for properties. Otherwise, people are very quickly going to realize that they don't actually own these properties, and the allure and excitement of the game will wear off pretty fast. That said, that doesn't mean they don't have the opportunity to utilize blockchain in the future, and that also doesn't mean they aren't utilizing it right now. They just haven't spoken a lot about it. I do find that curious, though, since blockchain is such a huge trend. You would think that the dev team would want to tout that whenever they could, to say, hey, look at our game, it's built on blockchain, it's built on the next platform. So there's a level of concern there, and I really do think that the dev team needs to clarify the utilization of blockchain or their plan to migrate to a blockchain platform long term. All right, so this is the topic that's probably going to be a little bit more polarizing than some of the other ones, but I really do think that the team needs to look at accelerating the timeline of some of the features that they're looking to release. Here's my thought process behind that. Obviously, Earth 2 grew much faster than the dev team anticipated. The level of growth that they experienced, they expected to see in a year or two, and they experienced it in a month or two. So from that perspective, this was definitely not growth that was planned. That said, there was still growth. There is a point at which you must act, regardless whether or not that was your plan. And now the team is very much in a reactive situation where they're basically trying to fix things and update things as quickly as they can to keep the user base happy. At this point, I really do think it is very important that the dev team work to keep the user base as happy as possible. Regardless whether or not they had plans of the game growing this big, it already is this big, and this core user base is going to make or break Earth 2. So I think they need to do everything in their power to accelerate the timeline and roll out as many features as possible, especially the features that they can roll out that will set Earth 2 apart from the other platforms that are currently out there in the space. So I really do think that accelerating the timeline and getting as much content out as possible, while that might seem like it's being rushed, at this point they kind of have to rush because the competition is strong. There is competition in the space that is far more developed and far more established than Earth 2. And while they did gain a large amount of volume and cash in a short amount of time, that surge and that rush has died down significantly. And it may continue to do so until they roll out something that is truly groundbreaking and does set them apart. And for those reasons, I think they need to accelerate the product timeline. And that leads me to my next point. They need to grow the team. The Earth 2 team needs to be much larger, and I know they're working to grow the Earth 2 team, but it needs to happen quickly. The withdrawals are taking a long time because of the manual processing. That team needs to be grown. The development team needs to be grown because, quite frankly, an accelerated timeline is extremely important at this point. Nathaniel's doing a great job. That train video he released, after watching it a few times, I definitely see the potential that they're showing here, and the ability for all of that content and detail to render in real time with zero lag and zero pop-ups is actually fairly impressive. That said, they still obviously have a lot of work to do before that part of the game is rolled out. And like I stated, if they don't grow their team large as quickly as possible and really accelerate that product timeline, they could be looking at issues long term. So I really do think growing the team is very important for the long-term success of Earth 2. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was prioritizing augmented reality and virtual reality support. When the devs did their initial announcement stream a few months back, one of the main things that was mentioned was the fact that VR and AR support is on the last step of the product roadmap. And while that seemed fine at the time, in the last couple months, there's been a lot of developments on the AR and VR front. We can look at things like the AR headset that Apple announced and that should be released next year, or the AR headset that Qualcomm just released that's available for developers and app creators. Or we can look at the Oculus space and how quickly the Oculus has gained popularity, as well as the announcement by PlayStation that they're working on a new version of their VR headset. All of these things just show that the technological space is moving toward augmented reality and virtual reality at an accelerated rate. And I do think that this is one of the things that the team needs to prioritize. I know I've mentioned prioritizing quite a few things here, but the Earth 2 team really is in that Goldilocks period where if they do everything right, they could succeed. But it really requires that they do everything right the first time and quickly. Anyone that's been around these kinds of games or these kinds of apps knows that first to market's extremely important, and the first to do something successful and groundbreaking usually is the one that has staying power. So I really do think that augmented reality and virtual reality implementation need to be bumped up the product roadmap a little bit and probably worked on fairly quickly, just to show what the potential of Earth 2 is and to show that they're looking toward the future and integrating with future platforms and future technologies to take Earth 2 to that next level. Overall, guys, Earth 2's made some really huge progress in the last few months. I think we really need to understand that this is very early in the game. Most of the time, we as users are not involved at this level of a game's development. So by being involved so early, it definitely creates a false sense of expectation. But at the same time, because you get an inside view of the app, you can really get a chance to see where the weak points are and what they need to improve if they want to be successful long term. So that's the double-edged sword of us being involved here. There's an excitement level of being involved in an app in a game at this point. But there's also a level of concern seeing that the game is very early in its release roadmap and knowing that there's so many hurdles that need to be overcome for the game to experience long-term success. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any thoughts or opinions on it, make sure to comment down below. I'd love to hear those. If you liked the video, make sure to smash that thumbs up button. Click the subscribe button and hit the bell to get notified if you appreciate the content you're seeing here. I try to post new videos every week and I want to make sure you guys see them. Other than that, guys, I want to thank you all for checking out this video. I want to thank you for supporting the channel. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and until next time, we'll see you soon.